Daniel Amaguana and his wife Susan first launched Panda's Karate in a small warehouse in Gaithersburg, Maryland in 2009. Daniel shared his inspirational story with Leap Forward Club members last year, and I wanted you to hear it too. This is his story.
Hey, my name is Master Daniel with Panda's Karate, and today I'm here to tell you about my story of how I got to be here. So it all started first when I was really little. My mom forced me to do karate. I was really fortunate that my mom valued after-school sports, so she didn't have a lot of money at the time, but she put me in karate anyways. And it came at a really great moment because I was actually being bullied in school. But while I was being bullied and I was learning karate, I came from a really interesting home life. My mom and dad got divorced when I was really young, but sometimes we had money and sometimes we didn't. One of my first experiences with trying to understand where money came from was creating my own lemonade stand. I actually started my own lemonade stand when I was 5 years old in my backyard. I made no money. But I really learned a great lesson, which was don't run a lemonade stand in your backyard. I had my mom who was working as a waitress at a Mexican restaurant, my dad fresh out of college working as an insurance salesman. And so both were working really hard to provide for me, my brother and sister. At one point, my own bedroom was a walk-in closet. I even shared my own bed with my brother and sister for a short time because we didn't have enough money to buy our own beds. So this is how I was growing up. Karate was my outlet though. Karate was a great way for me to kind of let all the stresses of life out there. Whatever was happening at school, whatever was happening at my home, which wasn't great, karate was that place where I could hit a bag, punch, kick, do whatever, so I could really alleviate that stress. So while I was in high school, my friend gave me this really great idea, which was, Daniel, why don't you start your own martial art club? You clearly love it, and you clearly want to do something with it, so just do it. So I ended up creating Northwest High School's very first martial art club. And to be honest, I believe it was Montgomery County's first martial art club. And I still remember the first day I did it. I had these black and white posters with a yin-yang on it. And it said meet in lunchroom after in the science lab, something like that. I posted it all over the walls. I didn't think anybody really was going to show up, right? So I walk up to my own meeting, and my sponsor, my science teacher at the time, comes out. He's like, Daniel, where have you been? And I'm like, what? Is anybody in there? And he goes, yeah. So when I walk into that room, there were bodies from wall to wall, literally people waiting for me. I was a sophomore at the time, and there were mainly juniors and seniors coming there for me. People were sitting on tables and chairs. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. At the time of that moment, I never thought of myself as a leader. I was always the sidekick. So meaning if I had to choose between Batman and Robin, I was Robin. Mario and Luigi, I was Luigi. I wasn't good enough to be the leader. I was always the sidekick. But here I was with all these people, I gotta step up, right? I gotta become something I didn't think I could be. Until one day, my fiance at the time, but now my wife, she was like, Daniel, you know what? You should open up your own studio. It's time. I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, how do I do it, right? So I ended up collecting as much money as possible. I even went into a bank and asked for a loan and realized that it wasn't for me. So me and my wife, we just collected whatever we had. We got gift money from certain family members as well. And we ended up starting Panda's Karate in this rundown warehouse that was that not even our own family members could find. Like I'm telling you, like it was like this little corner of a place, hidden. I had like a little like 8.5 by 11 sign with the panda on it, so you couldn't even see it unless you walked up to it. Like that's what it was. And for the first 30 days, I had 0 students. Like it was incredible. I thought I just made like the biggest mistake of my life. Like I would go to work as a preschool teacher, leave work, rush over there thinking that somebody was going to be waiting for me. Nobody was. And I would just sit there waiting for the phone to ring or just waiting for someone to enter through the doors. And for the first 30 days, no one did. Until finally we got our first customer. And that person brought a second person. And eventually I had 7, and then I had 20, then I had 30, and then we grew so much that we ended up, was able to finally leave my job. My wife eventually left her own job, and we opened up our studio in a shopping center, really close by to here actually, where we're at right now. This is my original location. Since then, I've been featured on Fox 5. Just recently, I was on NBC. We have our own podcast show now where we get to talk about anti-bullying tactics. And I just finished a summer tour with Montgomery County Public Libraries. So like literally from that first moment of me stepping out into a karate studio at the age of 8 with my mom, I didn't know that it was going to take me all the way to this point. And it's pretty amazing. No, what I thought school did for me was it gave me the passion to like love to learn, but what I wanted to learn. And I think that was incredible. I didn't know that you could start a club. I didn't know that was offered. I didn't know I could become a leader. I don't think if I started the martial art club or had teachers who believed in me, because I had like different sponsors, I had people encouraging me to do it. When I told my mom and dad that I started up the martial art club, they didn't know what I was doing. They were like, what? Is that football? Is that soccer? Like, whoa, you're doing more karate? Like, that's their reaction. It wasn't like, good job, son, you're doing it. They didn't know what I was doing. Right. So, but to have teachers back me up, like care about what I was doing and like encourage me, hey Daniel, why don't you follow up and learn about these protocols? Hey, why don't you add in getting good grades like for sports? Like, hey Daniel, first aid. Like, I didn't know there's this world of like, you know, rules and regulations that the school, you know, has. And so I guess for that, it made me love learning and love collaborating with people. I think that environment helped me understand that, I mean, teachers really are there to help. It's just, you got to open up and let them know what are your goals, what are your passions. And so I think school helped me with that. So I've been working with MCPS schools for like 9 years now, for free, coming into schools and talking to people. And what I love is that these schools are embracing community members like me who grew up in, whether in Maryland or not, but grew up and want to give back to the community. I wish I had a career day when I was going to school. Career day didn't exist when I was growing up. I grew up here in Montgomery County, and not one school did I have a career day. So I'll never forget, I heard Charles Barkley, who was talking about how he would go to like rich schools, and when he would ask the sea of students, hey, raise your hand if you want to be a professional basketball player, only a couple hands would go up. But then he goes to a District 1 school, underprivileged school, and be like, hey, who wants to be a professional basketball player? You got 90% of the kids raising their hands. And I really feel like there's something's going on with what kind of message we're giving. So I think if more schools could bring in community members like me, coming into classrooms little by little, or coming into lunch,